D's.
New digs are nice.
This fucking football club.
Yeah, mate.
Honestly.
I've just recently got back from Tasmania, and it was a really great way to unwind and just forget about everything that's got to do with the red and the blue.
Searching for a new football club, obviously.
Yeah, I was scoping out the new team.
Yeah.
I like the colour green.
Same.
Devils, similar to Demons, probably more ferocious.
They'll steal it and run with it and make
Chew
it
to
their
the
own.
bone.
Yeah.
But no, what a beautiful place that is. Highly recommend. If you like your national parks and all that. I did some hiking. It was great. Fresh air. When you live in the city, you need that breather.
Yeah, I like it. So you ready to be heard again this weekend?
Yeah. Absolutely. But now I'm not like there's no hope.
No.
There's no that's kind of done for me.
Oh, well, Adzi was trying to convince us before in the thread.
I know he was claiming a win.
Famous victory.
Famous victory. That's any victory is famous now at this point. Famous victory. I don't think we can use that term for unless we get on a run of which isn't going to happen.
No. Goody thinks it's going to turn.
Well, apparently we have to be patient.
Yeah.
Are you being patient?
Absolutely not. My patience has run out.
I saw I didn't look at any of his presses or anything because
you needed to switch off.
You needed to switch off, and you watch the games. Yeah. You don't need to tell me what's going on. When all that is said and done, all right, famous quote, you see it.
Yeah.
You see it firsthand, so I don't need to watch the presses. I've never really been one to watch the presses, especially when you got someone who really isn't, that inspiring with his words or anything. And I don't need a coach who's inspiring with their words. I don't really care as long as,
we're winning.
As long as there's performance at the level. But
we are not winning.
But those quotes that you screenshotted and posted, I did take note of them and how he sounded really confident in that it's about to click. It's about to happen, and he's like that third quarter. That third quarter. That's what we're about. It's like, mate, you can't wait until the third. You can't kick 2 goals in a half against a team such as Eston, who isn't defensively.
They're
a juggernaut. Like they're known to be a team that on turnover you can get them pretty easily.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like this game at the moment, AFL that is set up to score.
Yeah.
Like we're seeing scores now that are massive, and it's awesome. It's so good for the game. The only teams that can't do it is us and West Coast.
Yeah.
And coming into the season, we knew where West Coast were going to be at. We didn't know where we were going to be at. And I definitely didn't think we were going to be here.
We're averaging 61 points off the top of my head from the first 5 games.
I would love to see the stats on the first half to second half.
Oh, it's terrible.
I feel like it's been at least 3 or 4 games where we've kicked 2 goals to the first half, and you're like, what is going on? And it's 2 goals 4, it's 2 goals 9. It's like the game's done. And going to that point, I turned it off at halftime because the game was done.
Well, we said it off air. That was a great decision because in the third quarter, we rallied, we showed something.
So I hear we played our brand. That was the thing. More of the third quarter.
But the biggest problem with it is it was actually the hope that killed all Melbourne supporters. And I said it on the review show. Then to
lose by 39.
No, I know. And it was a carbon copy of Geelong. And do you know what's really funny? Geelong, 16 points at three-quarter time.
Geelong
lost
makes
by 39.
More sense, though. We were playing down there. Geelong they know what to do.
Of course they do.
They're winners.
Yeah, and I mean, Geelong had us at arm's length. Like, they were always going to roll over the top of us. But
our intensity throughout that game was far better than the first half of, say, the Essendon game.
Yeah.
It was execution for both of those games where we're just obviously not able to kick goals, which is pretty important in this game.
The one thing as well, just to isolate.
Would be awesome at soccer.
Yeah.
Imagine that, 2 goals at half time, killing it.
The The one thing to isolate with the Essendon performance as well is they're getting so hung up and fixated on this third quarter. And Brad Green did it as well. He came out with his statement during the week. And the thing I said was it's okay for him to come out and put a statement out because you are 0-5. And that's more than fair enough. So I don't want to hang shit on Brad. That's absolutely fine. However, the one thing I didn't really like was, again, the fixation with the third quarter, because keep coming back to it, it was the Essendon Football Club guys. It was the only decent patch of footy we played for the entire game, and we were playing it against a team that will probably finish anywhere between 9 to 13. So the idea that they're proud of a third quarter after going 0-5 against a middle average team, a team that probably doesn't play finals, is just, it's insane. It's moronic.
Yeah, it's a slap in the face to the supporters and dangling the carrot in front of us to try and coerce us into believing that there is something to gain from this year.
No.
And the only thing that we're going to gain from this year, from what I can see, is developing the younger players. That's about where it stands for me.
And dressing up this new set of ours.
And dressing up this beautiful new studio, and we will come in here and we'll be so dark. So very dark.
What are you thinking? So we're going to get some shelves in there.
Yeah, get some shelves.
Who's going to feature? What players? Run
not
through.
many flags.
Maybe we should get a photo of you and Neil Bullen from the Granny when you celebrated with him. We'll put you on the set with Nibbler.
Or Jackson. Got a good photo with Jackson.
Players that have left our football club. Perfect.
Gee, that's when it really turned, when he left.
Dogger. Oh, yeah.
I think, like, I feel like, yes, Goodwin for me isn't it. But I also don't want to pin everything onto him. What I mean by that is when you do reach the ultimate goal, okay, which of course we did, from there to like sustain success, to be relevant and to continue to push, you have to get better. And in doing that, you have to replenish. Let's go through the players that we have brought in. Yeah, like we've been amazing at getting young talent, like really lucky when you think about that we've made top 4 a few times and we've got some really good young players and we're hitting them. We're hitting the draft well.
Yeah.
And mate, if we hadn't hit the draft well, it would be looking so dark right now. But we have. That's awesome. But you have to bring in talent. And you have to bring in role play. You don't have to bring in Jeremy Camerons. You don't have to bring in, these absolute freaks. But when you bring in people like Lockie Hunter, Josh Shackey, Jack Billings, Harry Sharp, Henderson, what are they? They're not players that are come in and they're not professional enough to come in and do their role and play their role. The crazy thing is Lockie Hunter is probably the best person that's come in to kind of like come in and kind of replenish.
Brodie Grundy was okay. We just didn't get the balance right with that as well.
I also just don't think you can't have both of them.
No,
Brodie Grundy wasn't the issue. It was the issue was we tried. It was a knee-jerk reaction to losing Luke Jackson.
Yeah,
and we were like, "Holy crap! You can have these two, amazing like ruckman in your team. You can do this." But the difference between Luke Jackson and Brodie Grundy is just like you can't really compare. Maybe Grundy 4 or 5 years prior when he was playing that kind of mid-role where he was just like amazing at ground level and he was an elite runner, but we got a Brodie Grundy that just he wasn't able to come in and impact as much as what he had at Collingwood for that time. But yeah, what are some other players that we've brought in?
Or Josh Shackey. Josh Shackey's another one.
Yeah.
Tom Fullerton hasn't played a game yet.
Tom Fullerton hasn't even been given an opportunity yet, which says a hell of a lot.
That's another one. Do you know what? Just your point is so valid as well, because when you lose guys like James Jordan, James Harms, who are actually playing some decent footy for other clubs.
People like Hibberd, man. Like people that like the intensity and the toughness.
Yeah.
you know, he would have put fear into opposition players. Like he was just,
Yeah.
he's not a freak. He's not like trying to think of, you know, like a Zorka off the half back, but he was so solid.
Yeah.
Such a solid player. And you know, he was coming to the end of his tenure, and we didn't replenish with anyone coming in. And the fact that we didn't go for someone like a Membry to bring into the forward line,
or
like,
or even like a Perryman to come in to do a role, Isaac Cumming who went to Adelaide. Like, these are the types of players that Melbourne could have got in that were ready-made, that are really decent AFL footballers that have played good footy for other clubs.
yeah.
And I don't even think we took a look at them. The other thing is, I don't actually know if these players...
Did we look at Membry?
I don't think we did.
I can't believe that.
But I don't think these players would have come to the club, Marca.
Okay, so
Sorry, Darker.
So that's another point that I'll get into, which is like which is going real dark. But I feel for JVR, man. Like I don't feel like he deserves the bashing that he's copped. Do I think that he's performing well? No, obviously not. Like he looks like a young player that's completely like devoid of confidence.
Yeah.
And he's not the same player that he was last year or even the year before. I think he's a player, and I feel like he'll get there. But to bring in someone like a Darling, man, a Membry, just someone who is established, has presence, anyone. The fact that you think that you can have a elite football side and have Melksham and JVR as your key pillars. What the fuck? I'm sorry, but I have to drop it there. But like,
do you know what's
no
funny?
other explanations. It's just like you just throw your hands up and go.
Think about this. When we're 6-2 last year, before we go on this awful run, we're now 5-15 last 20. We're 1-11 in our last 12. Think about the player we had in our lineup for that most of that 6-2 last year. Have a guess. Who retired at the end of last year because his knees failed him?
Yeah.
Big Ben Brown.
Yeah.
Just the idea of having a guy who's 200 centimetres in your forward line.
It's a focal point.
Yeah.
It's a massive distraction for opposition.
Yeah.
They don't have to perform that well.
Yeah. JVR's 193, Marca.
Yeah, he's not, but he's also like...
He's not that. He's not the guy. He's not the main man.
He's learning the craft.
Yeah, exactly.
He's learning the craft, and he hasn't come in, and it's not like he has, as you said, the kind of like physical prowess of, say, a Jamara who can like lean into the fact that he's just moves better than anyone else or can leap over people. Like, he's just an honest forward who like leads well, but at the moment that's really not happening for him because the poor bloke has got all this pressure put onto him, which is so unfair.
Yeah. And
mate, as I said, just throw in a Darling, throw in a Membry. Yes, they're not people that are going to be there for too long or going forward, but for the now, it's so important to help out people like JVR. I love Melksham.
Yeah.
I love him and I love what he's done, and I feel like he's just like such a unique player and has got the most out of himself.
Big time.
But he's not it.
No. Of course he's not. And he always plays above his height and weight division, and we love him for it.
I have nothing but respect for Melksham.
The little push-offs.
When he came into the club and stuff, I was a bit but like his ability to guard space and put pressure on, like if he was 198 centimeters, like he would be an amazing key forward. Yeah. But what is he?
He's
185?
I don't even think he's 185. He probably plays, he's probably 6 foot, 6'1".
Yeah.
Maximum.
Yeah. And as I said, I think his football knowledge is crazy and his kicking ability is awesome, but
he's a player. I want to go off on a bit of a tangent. He's a player that is now starting to regress. He's not having scoreboard impact, which is difficult in a side like ours when we blaze away.
To play a role that is again unfair for him to like have this amount of pressure and that's put onto him. He should be this kind of like this sneaky kind of thing that comes under the radar, and you're like, he just bobs up.
But he's lost form. He's lost his confidence.
Yeah.
Bailey Fritsch has clearly lost his confidence.
Yeah.
Harrison Petty has lost his confidence. He's a shadow. Christian Salem is an absolute shadow.
Yeah.
Stephen May made some of the worst mistakes you've ever seen last week at critical times in the game. And I've been saying this for weeks. We've held on for far too long with some of the older players that I just mentioned. And then we've got younger players like a JVR. The burden of expectation on him is way too much.
Yeah.
And he's feeling it, and it's coming out in his footy. And I just think it's clearly a mental thing. It's clearly between the ears for him. And then to have players like Petty, who we would sit on this podcast for years and talk about how he's got so much mongrel bastard. And he's showing none of that because he's out of confidence. He's got no confidence. The other thing about Christian Salem is he just looks so far behind the eight ball from a pace point of view now. Like his legs have absolutely gone. So when the ball is in transition and he's trying to defend running back to goal, he's done, mate. He's literally a witch's hat at the moment. And it's sad to watch him and the way he defends at the moment. And his kicking skills are what they are now. They're the lollipop kicks, and he's lost that piercing dart that he once had. And maybe that's to do with injuries. But these are examples of players that have either we've held on too long with them, I think, or they're just examples of players in a system that they don't truly believe in and they've lost all confidence in themselves.
Yeah, so
it's sad.
But like also he's performed like at the level for a long time.
Which one?
Oh, you could both May and Salem. You know, the Petty thing is probably the saddest part for me.
Should have traded him
because May and Salem have been more than serviceable. Whereas Petty, it's kind of like you showed it, and now we haven't really seen it for a long time, and maybe that's partly because we played you forward and you got injured. He's still quite young. What is he, 25?
Probably a little bit younger, to be honest.
All right,
I think he's
so
23, 24.
I'm not all dark and gloom on Petty because of that, but the other thing is, say a year or two ago, you get rid of May and Salem. Let's go back to the point of who wants to come and train next to Punt Road at Gosh's Paddock and go to fucking Casey.
It's cool.
Because the poor president and CEO who takes over this club
help us.
Has the same issues.
Save us. Yeah.
It's the same shit, and it's not going to change until you have a home base.
So I said I was going to drop some secrets. I'm going to drop some secrets on this podcast from now on. I'm done. You want to hear the secrets?
Well, can we just talk about? Let's stay on my point.
I'm going to stay on your point, but I want to make one really quick point about Harrison Petty. Once upon a time in 2021, he was out wrestling guys like Tom Hawkins.
Mate, I saw it.
Where has that gone?
Mate, I saw it live at the prelim.
Yeah.
At Optus Stadium in 2021, and he bullied.
Exactly.
He bullied him, man.
Where have you gone? Where have you gone?
So the thing is, that's a confidence.
Let's go back to the next point.
Okay. Well, the next point is
facilities.
So I've been getting real dark.
Great. Darker.
Because
a lot of people have been messaging in saying Dark is one of the great nicknames. So.
I just feel like
here we go.
For our lifetime, you know, we had moments in the 90s where it was like, this is a cool team, right? We're winning games. We've got great players. Awesome.
Yeah.
And then you go through that really awful period where you're, you know, hanging on by a thread. And if you weren't the first team, you're probably getting kicked out of the comp. Like a joke.
07 to 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you start to gain traction. You start to become competitive. You're getting Porus, you're getting Peter Jackson, and then you become a threat, and then you become a contender, and then you do it.
Yeah.
And then you think it's changed.
Yes.
But at the moment, I'm feeling like
nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed. We just so happen to be so very bad for so long. We were able to get a lot of talent in. And of course, something good is going to come of having that much talent and young talent within a group, right? A couple of decent plays in getting May, Lever, Brown.
Yeah.
But since then, we haven't been able to.
Langdon?
I'll give him props.
Yeah.
He was actually pretty good in the first half of the weekend before I switched it off. But we haven't done anything else.
No.
And where we train is still the same place where we train, board members, all that. It keeps cycling through, and we're stuck in the same position. And the reason why I am getting dark is because I'm looking way ahead. I'm looking at like we could just be irrelevant for another 20, 30, 40 years.
Whoa! Whoa!
Mate, it's 2025 and we're in the premium competition of sport. We're in the premium code and we're training in fucking Casey.
Did you say 20, 30, 40 years?
I can see it happening.
Nah. Come
Mate,
on.
I'm going dark.
Nah,
Here.
we've got
No.
So
Just listen,
Derek
I'm
isn't
saying-
here anymore, but we've got Nick who's our new producer, and Nick is a massive Collingwood man. So life is so easy.
Yeah, but
He's having a good laugh right
so
now.
that's the yin and the yin and the yang.
Yeah.
Is and the fact is that we're training a couple hundred meters away from them, and they're in the Holden Centre.
Yeah.
And they have a fan base which is so passionate, and they love their club, and we have a lot of passionate fans too. But
I'll drop a bomb on
that. Just stay with me.
Yeah.
They front, and they have a home base,
Yeah.
and they have a really strong identity.
Oh God.
And they have a ruthlessness about them that they don't put up with the shit that we put up with.
Yeah.
Where things just change. Like, what was it just before they won the flag? Like, there was a couple of mishaps. And
Well, they finished 17th.
Yeah, but then they were
then
like,
they bounced
CEO,
back.
bang. So,
Yeah.
You're out.
Yeah.
We
Bang.
Don't put up with this shit. We're the Collingwood Football Club.
New coach.
See you later.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
We will never be that. I'm not saying we need to be that.
Mm.
But I don't feel like we can attract the talent that Collingwood attracts, that Carlton attracts, until we have something where we show them around the club rooms and we go, this is our home.
Mm.
At the moment, they go, do you want to play with us? Yeah, show us what you got. Well, we train over here. You get to breathe in all the fumes of 18-wheelers as they come off the punt road intersection. If you like the smell of petrol, this is the team for you. You get to play in front of, 30,000 people. You get to play
share
at
a
the G
gym.
lot. You get to share a gym. Do you like the Melbourne Storm boys? They're cool. They win. We don't.
It's so.
That's where my head.
No,
has
I'm with
been
you.
at.
It's so
And
embarrassing.
I'm not looking at this year. I'm looking at, well, this is just systemic shit.
Yep.
And
It is. But Marca, you're absolutely spot on.
but I feel like I share the same sentiment with a lot of Melbourne supporters, and I feel like I'm always quite logical and
You are. Balanced, measured.
I try to be.
No, it has to change now.
And I feel sorry for the people who are taking over the club.
Why?
And
You shouldn't feel sorry for them. That those people that take over the football club need to look at this as a fork in the road.
yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
This is fork in the road. If Melbourne could, quite conceivably, and I agree with you, they could just slowly ebb back into irrelevance, or they can take this other path where they go, fuck it. We're going to be fair income from now. We're going to make smart decisions. They don't have to be ruthless, and I agree with Benny Lee. He spoke about that on Monday. He goes, mate, they don't have to be ruthless. They just have to be smart about, okay, who's the dead wood in the club? See you later.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time. Bye-bye.
It also has to be
Peter
people
Jackson did
who,
that.
Yeah, it also has to be people who are either crazy business people who are like, they don't muck around,
Yep.
like your Peter Jacksons.
Yep.
Or it has to be Melbourne people who have a stake in this and who are so passionate that they will die before anything else happens. And they will say, I will not leave this space. I will commit to this until this happens or that happens or until we actually change this ongoing thing, which is just, it's just it shouldn't be what you need to be dealing with, right? And like, you can't attract talent, you can't be a really, you can't sustain the level of greatness for too long in our position.
In our
as it
current
stands.
form,
Yeah.
I completely agree. My mail is there might actually be a Melbourne person that will come in as a CEO. So someone who has a connection to the football club. So we'll wait and see. But apparently it's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. So that would be great. As long as they're a good business operator as well.
Yeah. You want the balance. Like, and you know, Brad Green, you want like the passion of Brad Green.
Yeah.
But you also need someone who comes in who has, you know, no digs on Brad. And I have no idea about any of these kind of roles and what it needs to be.
Yeah.
But we know that Brad isn't like, you know, doesn't have the professionalism or the backing or the business minded of other people. But the passion that he brings, that's what you need to have.
Yeah.
You need to have both of them.
I think Brad has been great to come in to clean a few things up that needed to be cleaned up at the time.
And probably made to be in this position where he probably wasn't the first person to be like, put me in, coach. No. They're just like, can you help us out here?
Yeah, and I think he's done a really good job of
I agree.
Of unifying people at the time. The only problem is clearly the club pulled the wool over our eyes. They did their big PR campaign. They spoke about love and blah, blah, blah. And it's all a crock of shit because it's been laid bare in the last month. I'm going to ask you 2 questions. The first question I'm going to ask you is if you were the CEO of the football club, what's the first thing that you would fix? Darker, welcome to the DeeBrief. You're the new CEO of the football club. It's great to have you on board.
It's good to be here. I love the new digs. I love the wall. The slats are great.
Thanks, mate. So you've got a hell of a job in front of you. We're a bit of a fire dumpster at the moment.
For sure, I've noticed.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit going down at the football club.
Yeah.
We're a bit of a rabble.
Gosh's paddock. It's cool. Yeah. Nice place.
How can you fix this? What would you do?
We're going to start with a new coach.
Okay. Cool. Is that the number one thing?
I reckon.
I'm going to say I think that's the most important decision we will make because it's probably the only way we can attract talent.
For me,
and I'm going to come back to that point soon.
That comes back to setting the tone and forking the road and going, we're not putting up with this bull crap.
Yeah.
And can I also say that I have great respect for Goody. Like what he was able to do in terms of like making us this kind of like defensive juggernaut where like teams really struggled to kick 50 plus points against us. And it was like hilarious to watch teams try and score against us and our back line and just the pressure we put on. It was amazing to watch. Yeah. And that was a great thing. But that was also 3 to 4 years ago. The game changes every 6 weeks.
Oh, it's crazy.
Like it changes so fast. And I would hate to be a senior coach and I would hate to be in that world because you just have to be onto it and champion data are always like, we've got this new stat and this is how you win games. And you're like, whoa, we've just done a whole preseason on this thing.
Don't worry, you're not the coach, you're the CEO. So.
For sure.
Yeah.
But, you know,
so new coach,
I can sympathize.
So new coach is the first thing. I'm going to assume the second most important thing as CEO is lock down the home base.
Well, that's number one, but like, that's a given, right? Old mate Pert was claiming that for a long time, but Pert was about Pert. He wasn't about the club. He was a Collingwood person. Fuck him.
So my other question is, who are the 2 players that have left the club since Flag that have left the biggest gaping holes and we haven't recovered from losing 2 players? Because I've got 2 players in mind. And I want to know who your 2 players are that you think have left enormous holes in our team that we are still struggling to fill.
Luke Jackson is the obvious.
Yeah, that was one of mine. Yep. And who's the other one?
Well, are we taking them at being fit and like?
Well, we're just taking them at they're no longer with our football club.
But I would say Ben Brown. I'd say Luke Jackson.
You'll figure out the other one. It'll come to you. It'll come to you.
Maybe it won't.
Oh, it should. He used to wear number 10.
Oh yeah.
Like
yeah.
It's the. I think Angus Brayshaw alone. We don't even have to speak about Hibbo and Jacko. And I think Angus Brayshaw is easily head and shoulders above everyone else in terms of players that have walked out the door and gone to other football clubs or retired since flag.
So we're talking about
just impact.
more than on field.
Impact. Just
Has to be,
impact,
right?
leadership. So for me, I think Jake Lever will be the new skipper of this football club. I think it's pretty obvious. We actually have a shortage of good leaders now. Alex Neil-Bullen was a really good leader. He's left. The other one for me that I thought had captaincy material written all over him, and he may have been a vice to Jake, or maybe he could have even have been the skipper.
I thought Petrarca was going to be the
Well,
next skipper.
clearly he's just too selfish, so you can't make him captain. Angus Brayshaw would have been in the mix as well, no doubt. So losing Angus's leadership, losing his ability to just dig in, like when we were under the Caution games and the other team had a run on, he was incredible at just holding us up,
and
insanely
also,
good.
So unfortunate, those two players, whereby you just can't plan for either of those things happening, whether it be someone who wants to go back to their home state,
Sure.
don't begrudge him for it, or Angus Brayshaw, where he's forcibly removed for the game due to, concussions. Like, those things happen, and it's so hard to plan for that. And then obviously one of the knee-jerk reaction was, let's get Grundy.
Yeah.
And
Hunter.
And Lockie Hunter, he's really, really crafty little.
The underball handball king.
Little crafty left footer. I actually think he's like a really clever footballer, but clearly he didn't have the professionalism to kind of like come in and
Marca,
nor the likability.
They got rid of him for a late third rounder for a reason, and we just go, sure, no worries, we'll take it. Like Melbourne, seriously. And I'm pretty sure, and I think I've said this on podcasts before, but I'm pretty sure we left him stranded on 199. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, says a lot.
So he had an opportunity.
Especially the end of last year where it was like, you could have just been like, here's your life membership.
Well, you know what the opportunity was. Did I explain
no life
this?
membership.
I think I explained this. The opportunity for him, well, he won a premiership. So you're a life member automatically.
Oh, okay.
So he's got one anyway. But
And to be fair, it's the greatest premiership of all time.
it is. But 199, we could have played him against the Bulldogs in that game that they torched us in at Marvel when our season was kaput.
Yeah.
Because he was playing at Casey at the time. It was like serendipitous for him. Here you go. Go and play against
Get
your old mob.
song.
Says everything.
Yeah.
So you're getting in caliber of player like that.
Tomlinson, another player we brought in who had moments.
Yeah, he had moments. He was really good at the start of 21, like really good. The first
Before
7 games.
Didn't he?
Yep, he was exceptional.
But then Petty came in and you're like, well, he's much better.
Yeah, now he's lost it. Space Jam.
Who was some other? I feel like there's people I'm missing here that we've brought in to be like.
I don't know, man. It's just the caliber of player that we've brought in post flag has been horrendous.
Yeah, there's never been a player where you're like, oh, the one player who I was really excited that we brought in.
Don't.
Can you guess it?
Oh, fucking hell.
I was really excited.
And is the player still on the list?
He's still on the list.
Still on the? Is he playing at Casey?
Not playing at Casey.
What, playing in the side?
He's not playing in the side.
Oh, he's injured.
Injured.
My God,
I
that's
know.
so annoying. Shano.
Shane McAdam.
Fuck.
He was the one player I was like, love this. We're being somewhat aggressive in that we're getting.
Nick's loving this, by the way.
Yeah, I bet. I fucking bet. A Collingwood fan, just like
He's like lapping it up.
oldest rivals, just being like,
They have no respect for us. They think we are just weasels. And we are.
oh, mate.
For them, like they beat us every single King's birthday.
Oh, we are their bunnies.
Oh, King's birthday is going to be 100 this year.
Yeah.
Oh, you are going to have a feast, Nick.
Membry will kick 8.
That's a party. Like I would go to the King's birthday with your Fight M&D beanie on and a party shirt if I was a Collingwood fan.
Yeah.
It's going to be the biggest party you've ever had.
But Shane McAdam was the one recruit where I was like, love it. We're getting a forward. Cool. Who isn't Josh Shackey.
Can we talk about his first game?
And then it was like, but he was, whatever he is now is whatever, and unfortunate that his body hasn't been able to hold up. But he was whenever he played for Adelaide, he was a gun, man.
Yeah, I was excited too. And then couldn't kick it more than 30 metres.
And then proceeded to do what he did. And now he's on his Achilles, and that sucks. And then we probably won't see him again.
Oh, so back to Gus. It's a huge void, massive void. I think the player I look at the moment on our list, and I think you've spoken about it as well, there are shades of Gus with Xavier Lindsay.
Yeah.
Shades.
Yeah.
Which is exciting.
For sure.
Because we need someone to
He's also
step up.
played 5 games or something.
But to say he's got shades of Gus is amazing.
Yeah, awesome.
Like, it's great.
And also, I think...
Let's get Pos.
Yeah, we can get Pos. Well, let's get Pos in terms of, the first pick at the moment belongs to Essendon.
That's not Pos.
No, but what's Pos is that I don't begrudge the club for doing what they did.
No. Oh, got it. Yep.
You're
right.
And if Xavier Lindsay becomes a player that I feel like he might, I'm still fine with that.
Same. That's a good move.
I actually think that I feel like we will finish. I don't think we'll finish bottom 4 for some reason.
I think we definitely will.
You reckon we definitely will?
I'm so
Never been more confident about it.
So confident.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we'll finish bottom 4.
West Coast,
I keep saying
West,
it's only
West
5
Coast,
games.
West Coast is last.
Yeah. They're last for me. Oh no, I reckon actually I think
West Coast are last.
Oh. Yeah, I think Richmond are
Okay, so I've Richmond.
I think Richmond is 17th. I think we're 16th. Yeah.
Yeah, true. We're definitely finishing bottom 4.
Yeah, we are. 100%. Like we might like battle it out with North for 15th.
Yeah.
Give them a run.
See, the game on the weekend was like if you win that, then you kind of like it's a bit of a symbolism of we're going to go ahead of you eventually, Essendon.
Next 3 weeks, Marca.
But that's not going to happen.
Freo.
Loss.
Richmond.
Win.
West Coast away.
Win.
Oh, we win 2 in a row.
And West Coast is so cooked.
We win 2 in a row.
Yeah, it's party time.
Fucking hell, that's like a flag at the moment.
Yeah, 100%.
That's awesome. You think we win 2 in a row? Okay, now I've got another scenario for you.
You
CEO.
have to.
I've got another scenario for you. Freo. Loss.
Yeah, big loss. Huge loss.
Richmond, if we lose, what does that mean?
Sack.
Sack immediately?
Like you have to.
Okay.
Sack.
So untenable. That night, the next morning, announcement comes out.
The other thing is,
you're CEO, you can announce it.
Actually, as a CEO, I'll have a level head, and I will make sure that there is somewhat of a plan in place before sack, which means at the moment they have to be talking to people.
I know who they're talking to.
So they're talking.
Oh yeah, they've been talking for a while.
Okay, well you would hope so.
There's some good coaches that they're talking to. But that's as much as I'll reveal.
But
that's good.
The people you're talking to, they have to want to come as well.
One of them wants to come on the stipulation that the CEO is a good CEO.
Oh, we're fucked then.
So, and this is the thing, like it's not like one text I'm getting from someone who's in the inner sanctum. It's like there's a pattern here. So there's a pattern of people that are like, oh, heads up, this is happening. Like you're getting 5, 6, 7 people coming to you going, apparently this person's really keen on the job, blah, blah, blah. And it's all this, everyone's saying the same thing.
Have these people
it's
been good to you in the past in terms of mail?
I would.
Because I'm sure you get a lot of fucking shit mail.
Get a lot of mail. Some of it shit, some of it good. 2 of the people that came to me that had the exact same mail probably never missed, and I don't speak to them that often. Okay. They only ever come to me when they've got big mail.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to rattle through it and think about it, but close to a 80+% strike rate.
Okay.
Really good.
Yeah.
Like really good in the know.
Yeah.
So I've been saying this, and this is why we'll get slightly paused. I am quite bullish.
We're going to get slightly paused, everyone.
Slightly paused. Only a little bit. I keep saying this, and I'll consistently say this, because it's not about the games anymore for me.
No.
It's
It's the whole club.
It's about speaking about the future. It's about how can we can't fix anything, but how can we help people understand what needs to be fixed maybe? And then I'm going to the G and I'll keep going every week.
100%. That's what we do.
Yeah, I love it.
That's what I've done my whole life.
Yeah, and I'll keep going, and I will keep going to watch these young players that are coming
100%.
through that I can't wait to see them blossom in the future. But the really good thing, which seems dark and it doesn't seem like there's any light at the moment, is we will have a new coach, a new CEO. We've got a new president coming in, and we're very likely going to have a new GM of footy. So 4 crucial posts at the football club.
Incredibly crucial.
Are going to be shored up.
The most crucial.
Yeah, they're going to be shored up in the next six to 9 months before you go into a draft and trade period, and then you go into a new preseason. So you got to be glass half full about that. You've got to look at it and go, we've got enough young talent on the list. We've got some good players who are still late 20s as well that can do some things for us. We've got a few guys that'll enter into their early 30s that maybe we're hanging on a little bit with, but we can still extract some value from on the field. We can get picks out of some really good players. Like Oliver Petrarca and Cozzy have to be spoken about. Let's not beat around the bush. So what I'm trying to say, Marca, is it might not be as bleak as we think it's going to be for the next 1, 2, 3 seasons. We might get ourselves into a position next year where we win 8 to 10 games and we don't make finals, but we've clearly got a game plan that will stack up and get us to where we want to get to. So there could be a brighter world in the not so distant future.
It's very easy for people to say, get rid of Petrarca, get rid of Oliver.
Yeah. Nuggets.
The thing, everyone, I mean, I've kind of said it as well, but they have a massive price tag on their heads.
Huge.
And a big contract, and that's not easy to shift. That's not that alluring to other clubs, especially when they're not setting the world on fire. 2 years ago, people would go, yeah, we'll take that on board.
Yeah.
And we'll take that player because they are what they are and what they have been. But at the moment, they're not that. They're not that price tag. And the team, one of them, Petrarca, he's very specific about where he wants to go. Where he wants to go, they can't offer us the picks. Right?
I don't think they want him.
Yeah. And I wouldn't.
Do you want him, Nick? Do you want Petrarca? Oh, he wants him.
What are you going to give us?
Yeah, what are you going to give us, Nick? What are we getting out of it? Come on, mate.
Membry? All right, we'll take Membry.
Just Membry? Straight swap. Yeah, we'll just take Membry. He's 30,
because your
31.
future picks are gone.
Yeah.
So we can't play with them.
No, I know. I don't think they want to play with us, though.
No, but even regardless of if let's say that Collingwood were desperate, we can't play with them. They don't have the picks.
Yeah.
And we need picks. And the only reason why I would want to give up him is to get at least a top 5 pick. Teams to come out. Is pick it out.
I fucking love the teams at the moment.
Okay, so
the teams is actually one of the most exciting things because.
So your reaction tells me that there's no.
Whoa!
There's no Fullerton. Okay, I'll just let you go through this.
Sorry, this is mental.
Not playing against Jackson's nice because he always tortures us.
This is mental. And do you know what's funny? Before I talk about Melbourne's ins, guess who's come in for Freo?
Wagner.
Oscar McDonald.
Oh, he'll be best on.
Oh my God, Omac. That is so nostalgic.
Yeah.
Omac's in.
I'm actually upset that I can't go.
I really want to go now. Just can Yarrawonga. Make up some lie that the kids have got chicken pox, so I can't go up there.
Have they already had it?
Huh?
Have they had it?
Nah.
You only get one of these lies.
Nah. But I actually really want to go now because I'll read them. Ins. Or do you want me to do the outs first?
Just go through the whole line of
Go through the whole team.
Go through the whole team.
And then, okay, well, sure. All right. And then you'll figure out who the outs are.
Yeah, well, maybe. I don't even know the team.
Jake Bowie, back pocket. Fuck, he's been
Love.
good.
My boy.
How good's he been?
Yeah, mate.
My Bowie Salem chat from last year. I'm just going to get some kudos. Yep, thanks. No
What
worries.
does...
Hey, come on. Fuck, it's the only win I'll get. I was right about that. I was very wrong about Roo. Like, so off about Roo.
Well,
most of us have.
I've said Disco's going to be breakout, but...
Yeah. Well, he's still got time.
You got time, I guess.
Fullback, Harrison Petty. Back pocket, Tom McDonald. Halfback is Xavier Lindsay.
Yep.
We love that. Stephen May, of course. Christian Salem runs in quicksand.
Yeah.
Halfback.
Nice little left foot.
Yep. He'd be pumped though. He's a big Arsenal fan, so they beat Real
happy
Madrid.
for him anyway. Wings.
Oh, it's amazing. Like Arsenal beating Real Madrid was huge. Wings, Caleb Windsor.
Yep.
Jack Viney in the middle.
Yep.
Ed Langdon.
Yep.
Makes sense. He's been good recently.
Yep.
Really happy with Ed. Half forward line. Colton Tholstrup.
Love that.
Yeah.
I love Colt. Yeah.
Same. It's huge. Number 33.
Fullerton.
Yeah.
Okay.
First game. Tommy's
Wow.
in.
Yeah.
Number 36, Cozzy Pickett. And then forward pocket, Cade Chandler. And then at full forward, Daniel Turner.
Roo's been dropped.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then in the other forward pocket,
Fritsch.
Charlie Spargo.
Fritsch been dropped.
Yeah.
I love that.
Wow.
About time. Make a statement.
Yep. And then we got Gorn, Petrarca, Langford as followers.
Yeah.
And then on the bench, you've got Oliver, Melksham, Rivers, Sharpie, and Tom Sparrow. Jack Henderson was the other one that got dropped.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, well, Henderson. Wowee.
yeah. But like Hendo's a little goer. And
Well, he's not.
he's
He's,
been okay.
not someone to kind of like.
Yeah.
He's a goer, but he's not it.
Colt, Fullerton, Disco,
Yeah.
Roo, Fritter, Hendo out.
Yeah.
Roo and so
I feel
It's
for
time.
Roo.
yeah, I feel for it.
Roo.
Yeah.
Fritter. Yeah, you can't, especially.
Kicked 2 last week and looked better, but they've still dropped him.
Well, he kicked 2 goals in 2 minutes or something.
I think he had 5 tackles, which is incredible for him.
Yeah.
I think he averages 1 a game.
Yeah.
So he showed defensive intent. He finally kicked goals and they dropped him.
Well, he kicked 2 goals.
No. I know, Marca, but all I'm saying is we've been crying out for better two-way running. We've been crying out for hit scoreboard, and then they've still gone, see ya.
Yeah, but if that's going to be...
But they probably needed to do it. It's overdue.
Yeah.
So
Now it's time for the coach.
it's those ins have got me slightly.
I wish I was going to the game now. I would love to see Fullerton and Disco.
And Omac. Omac's the one.
So what are Frio's changes? No,
Just Omac in for Patrick
Jackson.
Voss.
What about Jackson?
No, well, is he playing? I haven't even checked. Sean Darcy. Where's Luke Jackson? I don't think he's in their lineup.
No, he's injured.
Yeah, so he's not playing.
Oh, so did he get injured the week before?
Yeah, he must have. Mate, I'm not watching many games. I'm watching Melbourne games because I love pain and suffering,
Yeah.
and I'm not watching many others. Like, I'll probably listen to the Brisbane-Collingwood game tonight on radio, get back into home, watch a little bit of the third, and then go to bed. Like,
I've
I'm
been
not
pretty-
even watching
yeah.
the end of footy games at the moment.
Yeah, I've been pretty lucky.
I'm so
every
jaded.
time I do switch on, it's been like game of the round.
Yeah.
So maybe the only game I'll watch this weekend is I'm going to watch more than one game. Let's be honest.
You're not going?
I can't. No, I'm away with family.
Okay. How many people do you reckon there'll be?
21,000.
21?
I reckon that's a lot.
Way more than I think. It's Easter.
Yeah, everyone's away, and especially Melbourne supporters.
Yeah. Like, I've got this horrible feeling that it's going to be
15.
Yeah. So grim.
Oh, you'd love to go then. They're the best ones.
I know. We just hark back to our beautiful dark days.
I bet you will win.
Don't do this.
No, you know what I mean? Like, it'll be annoying to win. You want to win.
Do you know what would be annoying about winning?
But do
you know what would be annoying?
It delays the sack in and the change in and the
How's
and
Goody?
the belief.
How's
and
Goody in the press conference if we win? What's he say? I told you.
Yeah. well, I said about patience, and we have.
Told you. I told you. It was going to turn.
I'm just really proud of the boys. I'm really.
Do you know what? I'm going to stick up for him. I'm going to change my tune. I'm going to go full delusional. We beat Freo.
And then you can win 3 in a row.
Famous victory.
Any win's a famous victory. This isn't a famous victory.
Yeah, it is.
No, it isn't.
It's
fucking Freo at the MCG. It's
famous.
not a famous victory.
They smash us all the time.
Yeah, it's not famous.
Okay.
I can't give you that.
All right, fair.
It's a win.
We're actually going to do a series called Famous Victory.
Oh,
It's going to be fun because it's the only wins we'll get this
yeah,
year.
we've got about 5 of them.
We'll do probably 6 episodes and we'll probably only win 5 games this year. So we'll win more by listening to Famous Victory. So there's a bit of a sneak peek. But, all right, I'm going to go full delusional mode. We beat Freo. We beat Richmond. We beat West Coast. We're 3-5. We've got Hawthorn at the G. And we walk into the MCG that day and we go, you know what? Who fucking knows? You never know in footy. And we get torched by 80 points and we're back to where we were.
I'm more confident about beating the Hawks than Freo.
Why?
Because Freo is, I don't know. I'm completely basing that off a feeling, an emotion, and my feelings towards Hawthorn. And I don't think they're as good as what people say they are.
Yep.
I think they're really exciting and their ball use is awesome and the way they play freely. But losing to Port the way they did, I'll be interested to see what happens in the next couple of games. But if we win 3 in a row and then come up against a Hawthorn, I'm tipping us.
So in Goodwin's defence,
Because
I haven't been defending him, but if
the game's built on confidence and connection.
No, I know. So
confidence and connection is everything, and we don't have any of that. The only reason why you get confidence is by winning. The only reason why you have connection is because of confidence.
Yep.
Like if there was a whiteboard here, I would do the equation and I would say, that's football, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll get you a whiteboard.
Please don't. I fucking teach enough as it is.
So I reckon Liam Jarrah's got to be up there. Robbie Flower, Jim
Jeff
Steins, Jeff Farmer.
Farmer, Lucas Cook, all the greats.
Who else? Who else can we get up there? Liam Jarrah's got to be up there. Has to be.
Let's try and be pos.
No, I've been pos. I'm going to go.
I've been dark.
I'm being deluded. If we went 3-5, won our next 3,
I see us losing by a goal this weekend, by the way.
Maybe.
I can see that.
I think what some supporters, a very minuscule portion, are going to live off is Hawthorn was 0-5 last year. Yeah. And I think it's the only thing that I can think of, the only reference point that I've got for Goody and for the team at the moment, that you just never know in footy. And if we go through, do you know what? I'm gonna change my tune. Give me it will delay the inevitable, which I think is a bit silly after everything I've said in the past few weeks. Wouldn't it be kind of nice to win a few games?
We can only comment on what we've seen though.
Horrific.
So we can't be like, and that's buying into the mentality of what we have been in terms of stay the course. Yeah. We've stayed the course for a while. He's been in control for 9 years. That's a long time. That's a lot longer than most coaches, which is a massive effort. Massive props.
Yeah.
But if we win the next 3 and come up against Hawthorn, if we beat Hawthorn, then if we win no other games, I will be content because fuck Hawthorn. Fucking hate them so much. So much.
So 4 and 5 goes against the grain of change, though. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
We're talking about that world. That goes against the grain.
The way in which we win on the weekend is by kicking more than 2 goals in the first half. That would be a good start.
Yep.
They have to they've been embarrassed by the football world and community, this team. And if they have, and they would be feeling it.
Yep.
Maybe more than us. I don't know. But if they just come out and just don't give Freo an inch, that's the only way in which we can win this game is if they come out and it's bang, bang, bang.
Yep.
You get people who, like Fullerton and Disco, they play with, I don't know what, actually I have no idea about Fullerton because he's never played a game, but Disco kind of plays the way that I love. I love the way that he goes about it.
Same.
The execution isn't there at the moment.
He's got mongrel bastard.
Yeah. But I love that. He has a dip. But if it's in the first 5 minutes where he gets a goal and it's just like it's a bit of a run-on effect and it's bang, bang. Colt, he plays the game as it should be played. He has a dip. He hits hard. He's got finesse. The only way in which we win on the weekend is if we're up by 4 goals against them. If
Three-quarter time.
Nah, just like the first quarter, man.
Yeah.
You just got to go bang.
Gives you the belief.
If you kick 0-3 to start the game, done.
Saps you.
Go home.
You're absolutely spot on.
You and the 3,000 people in the stadium, get out of there, get a hot jam donut on the way out. Don't wait until you get a win because got to wait a while. I'm yet to have a hot jam donut this year. That's what I do. I eat a hot jam donut when we win.
I know.
Haven't even fucking been able to eat a hot jam donut after the game, and I walk past the vendor and I go, do I? No.
You don't
deserve it. You loser.
Yeah, you're not allowed to.
Fuck you, Melbourne.
So the final point I wanted to make, and we'll wrap, is because Nick's got to watch a successful football club soon.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be nice.
What's that podcast called?
Pies Nation.
Oh, yeah.
Or you could just call it like Happiness Nation.
Should have called it Hot Pies, surely.
Yeah. Hot Pies. Maybe a rebrand on the cards. And don't need to, he says.
Yeah. Steady.
I want to take you back a month. Okay?
Yeah.
It's exactly a month. We're at the MCG.
Yeah.
It's a Sunday against GWS.
Yeah.
I'm going to take you back to 2 key junctures in the game that I thought about. This is so dumb, being such a fucking nuffy, that I thought about when I was walking my dog yesterday, like at 6 a.m. What is wrong with me? Fuck this. We're diseased.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my God, it's a month ago since Melbourne played the Giants. Only a month. And I take you back to the start of the third quarter. Remember what happened at the start of the third quarter?
Windsor?
It was bang, bang, bang.
Windsor goal?
3 goals in quick succession. Bowie kicked one around the corner.
Yeah.
And I remember being in the stands doing the jig and just having the biggest...
Oh, the jig.
The jig.
That was so cool.
And having the biggest laugh with Richie and Rollo and everyone and just thinking to myself, oh, fuck, we are so back. I was like, we're back.
Yeah.
Like, these are good again. And I was sitting there going, oh, masterstroke, getting in Henderson and AJ and all these blokes mature age. And I was like, wow, this is just Melbourne are back, right? And then when AJ kicks that goal at the end of the third and he gets us out to a 17-point lead, I thought, we're home. Again, jigging in the stands going, we're just about to beat a premiership fancy. We are so back. We will be the talk of the town. I'm going to watch 360. I'm going to watch all the shows. I'm going to dive into a bit of First Crack, and I'm just going to hear people wax lyrical about how Melbourne have come together, reunited, recalibrated, and
they're all about love.
And they are back. We lose that game. I go and do the post match, and we just spoke about at Will how proud we were, and how like, look, we came up against a really good team. We just fell short.
I wasn't. I was dark. I was like,
you were a bit dark.
I was like, you gotta.
Yeah, because we lose too many close ones, and I was so confident that it was the start of something like new and fresh and bright, and there was this beautiful future in front of us. And now look where we are.
And then you go to Marvel Stadium.
It just got ripped out of us
on a Sunday.
That third quarter
against North Melbourne.
When they kept bombing
and
it
you
in.
Lose by 10 goals.
That third quarter when we were watching, we had the perfect vantage point from, we're in Medallion Club on the wing, And that third
It's actually
quarter,
a great stadium to watch footy at.
it is. And the one I remember that sticks out to me, and I love this player, and you spoke about him just before, but like when Disco had a chance, he's like 45, 40 out on the run to just like send it, go for goal, son. And he tried that hit up kick to Gawn on the lead after we'd just completely butchered it for the whole entire quarter. And the other one was Bowie. Love him again, but that kick into the corridor to nothingness, turnover, goal, like that was the day that you just thought, oh, round one was just a facade. It meant nothing. But to think that that was only a month ago, Marca, and I had these thoughts and feelings, and I'd had a few frothies that day, and I was like, fucking, like, I believe the club again. They're right. We do love each other. We are unified. We are going to play good footy this year. We are going to contend. To think that we are where we are now after the last month is just, it's actually astonishing. It's staggering.
Such fine margins because, yeah.
What happens if we win it? Does it mean anything if we win that game against Giants, or are we still in the same position?
It means a lot. As I said, whiteboard. Wins means confidence. Confidence means connection equals good.
Is this your first CEO address? Is that
Yeah,
what
that's
doing?
all I would need. I'll just put that equation on the board and I would circle it. And then on that circle, I'd be like, see that circle? That's a ground. Where's our ground? Find us a ground. Find us a home base. We have no home.
We passed on Olympic Park.
To them.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a pass. It was more of an Eddie Maguire came in and did his,
No, we passed. We could have had it.
I doubt that. What do we pass it up for?
We wanted to get closer to the MCG. It's not close enough.
What land?
Jolimont. We tried with Jolimont. Got blocked. Council residents not happy, obviously. Beautiful part of Melbourne. If you were living in that part of Melbourne, of course you'd be like, fuck off.
I feel like
You're not building
Junction
here.
should have been it, but now it's Cricket Victoria.
Yeah, Cricket Victoria. But yeah, passing on Olympic
But
Park.
there's a
is pretty
few
smart.
grounds around Junction. Like what's South Melbourne's old ground doing?
Don't know. Oh, well, South Melbourne's old ground's probably South Melbourne, the soccer club.
Really?
There's
With
no
the
land.
old-
There's no land
There's no land
for us to develop.
I know.
Because we were the nomadic ones that made poor decisions about what we were going to do next. Like
Well,
Junction,
the best and worst,
Junction Over was an absolute shit show, but it just never got the government funding.
But the best and worst thing about us is the fact that the MCG is our home before anyone else's.
I don't think it matters anymore.
No. But that was a thing that we held on to.
I know, but is it not Collingwood's home ground? It is. Is it not Richmond's home ground?
If you let me finish, then that's fine.
Sorry.
The
I did a
MCG
Nuggets.
is our homes first and foremost before anyone.
Sure.
We play there more than anyone. We play down in Geelong more than anyone, but I feel like that was a curse in that we kept it that way for a long time, and so we didn't have the secondary option. We didn't think of the secondary option because that was it. Yeah. And then it came to a point where, well, actually, the MCG belongs to the people of Melbourne. This is not just this is a cricket ground before anything else.
It doesn't mean anything though, Marco.
What doesn't mean anything?
The idea that like we're the primary tenants. It doesn't do us any
No,
favors.
I don't believe in that. But I'm saying that we did for a period of time,
Yes.
and because of that, we didn't look elsewhere.
Got it.
That's my point.
Got it.
My point isn't that's our home ground. We need a trade. Like, no, the MCG belongs to every person who lives in Victoria.
Mm.
Like it's for everyone.
Even St Kilda, even Bulldogs, even Essendon.
It's for everyone.
yeah.
It is
North.
the beating heart of this city. It is the most important thing in our state.
Yeah.
Name a more important thing.
Can't.
It's number one, and it's not Melbourne's. It's not Collingwood. It's no one's. It's for cricket. It's for football. It's multi-purpose. But for a moment in time, we thought it was ours. And the guy who wrote the rules for AFL, he was a Melbourne person. We thought it was ours. We didn't get a second home base, and we're still searching.
And on that note, we went full circle because we kind of started there and we ended there. Prediction. crowd, 21.
Crowd, yeah. Well, Oscar McDonald's playing, so maybe 22,000. I will say Freo by 9 points.
9. What's the margin at 3/4 time?
Oh, we're up.
By how much?
7.
Okay. I thought you were going to say like 4 goals.
Oh, no. If we're up by 4 goals, we win. But
Okay.
I feel like it could be a jump out of gate, and then they just chip away.
Yeah.
They just
Sure.
they nudge away.
I love how we don't talk about the opposition. Like, these podcasts aren't talking about opposition anymore.
No.
Like, we know Freo have got stars. Sarong's unbelievable. Some of their defensive players, like Brennan Cox, is so underrated.
Yeah.
Josh Tracy.
Chapman's underrated.
Oh, they're good.
O'Driscoll's underrated. But
Brayshaw.
he's not playing at the minute.
They got some really good players.
Fredericks now, he's really damaging up
Yep.
forward.
Yeah. They're stacked.
Yeah.
And they have torched us
Yeah.
recently. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's going to be
We're their
really
bunnies,
difficult.
for sure.
Oh, Shy Bolton.
Collingwood and Freo, it's like you come up against them, you're like, oh, we'll lose.
Look at like Bolton, Amidst, Murphy Reid. Oh,
Amos is starting to hit form, which is awesome.
Jeremy Sharp on the
Tracy
wing.
Gunn,
Hayden Young.
freak. Second game back, but he's my thoughts on Hayden Young.
You love him. Jordan Clark can play.
Can
Alex
play.
Pearce.
Luke Ryan always
Mate,
does his thing.
this back line
Yeah, it's crazy.
needs to be spoken about more. So Chapman and Clark as your half-backers, but Brennan Cox, Alex Pearce, and Luke Ryan.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's such a good mix. And then you've got Sarong, Brayshaw. I'm trying to look at some other players here, but I mean, Switzkowski can play. Fuck, Josh Tracy's the one though. Like, imagine if we had a Josh Tracy.
Oh,
I would
be so cool.
I would give so much. My prediction. I think we get smoked,
You reckon we just get absolutely torched?
Yeah. and I think Goody's funerals are next week.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm the same as you, and that sounds very disrespectful. But people know, and I've been saying this consistently, I'm the same as you. I'm very appreciative of everything he's done.
Mate, nothing but.
But people have forgotten. People have forgotten, and I think people need to realise this is a guy that got us back into finals. 2018 is one of the great years. We won a premiership. 22 and 23 didn't go the way we wanted it to, but we were a consistent outfit. I love the fact that teams couldn't break us down. I loved the defensive nature of our team. It was awesome.
But
so we've had a good ride.
But the thing is,
We've had a good ride.
AFL community, we're not the only ones that do this. The AFL community always have the shortest of memories.
Of course.
The shortest of memories.
Yeah.
And as I said earlier, nothing but respect for what Goodwin did and came in. And for people to say that it was Paul Roos,
no,
that's bullshit.
No.
What Paul Roos did was amazing.
Great.
And he came in and changed the culture. But it was Goodwin that coached us to a flag. It wasn't Paul Roos. So for people, I hate that comment of like, oh, he took over Paul Roos. It wasn't Paul Roos.
And do you know what, Marco?
Paul Roos was basically a part-time coach.
No, I know. And do you know what? That's such a good point.
Anyone who says that, you're wrong.
I agree. And you're wrong because these are young, impressionable men, and young, impressionable men need mentors, and they need someone that they can latch onto and someone that they can believe. And one of the keys of being a good coach and an educator, and you're a teacher, is you have to be good at building trust with people.
And he's been amazing at that.
Exactly. So the only way that you can get people to do what you want them to, the only way you can get your students to learn, the only way that he can get his pupils to play good footy is by believing in his messaging and what he's trying to get you to do.
Yeah.
So I'm 100% on board with you. It is absolute hogwash to think that, it wasn't even his fucking team. It was Roosie. It was Uze.
That's bull crap.
The messaging is critical, and the players clearly bought into everything that he put down. It's not working at the moment, and maybe it's run its course, like a lot of things do in life.
And in saying
that's
that,
okay.
it's not up to Goodwin to bring in talent as
Yeah.
well. It's not. He's not the one who is the list manager. He's not the one who's like, he can obviously try and coerce players to come to the club, but it's not all on him to bring in talent. So it's unfair to bash him in that regard.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But so
I think. Fucking.
Nah, I had to throw that.
No, it's a joke. Just don't take it too seriously.
Don't take
everyone.
it too seriously.
Yeah.
See you,
The
mate.
whole point of these podcasts on
Catch you later,
Thursdays.
mate.
See you
Thanks,
later.
mate.
Bye. No, it's been fun. It's been a good journey, but I'm apathetic at the moment. I'm not. The press conferences, the fighting words are great. I just don't believe in any of it, and I will remain that way until I see something different.
Hey, if we sit here in 4 games time, we win the next 4, I would love nothing more than to tell myself, you were wrong.
Yeah, and you're a fucking hypocrite.
You're an idiot. You
know nothing.
You weren't patient.
Yeah.
I would love nothing more than that.
Redemption story, redemption arc of Melbourne doing a Hawthorn from last year. If we did that,
mate,
I take everything back.
I prefer that. I'm not here being like, I want this.
Well, do you know what? Let's make a pledge to ourselves. Let's make a pledge. If we win next 4, we're wearing clown suits.
And I would happily wear a clown suit.
I'm wearing clown suit on
I'll do a
set.
little jig here and I'll have the whiteboard and I'll be like, see, connection, confidence equals good.
Clown suit. Genuine clown suit. If we go on a run.
More than happy to.
And I'll just absolutely push the shit out of it. I'll clip it up and I'll just tell everyone we are fucking clowns.
Yeah.
We
have no idea.
I know. But do you know what? Probably 95% of supporters at the moment who think the only way forward, and I, again, believe in this, is we need a new person at the helm. We're all clowns.
Yeah.
We're all clowns. So make us clowns.
Yes. Would love that.
Please make me a clown. I would love to be a clown in a month.
Yeah.
And be sitting here with you just being like, that Hawthorn win was a famous victory.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Any win against Hawthorns.
All right. Well, yeah, it's been fun. Can't wait to come back here next week.
Mate, regardless of everything we've just said, let's get a win. You know what I mean? You just as a bloody supporter, you just want to see your team win.
Oh, win would be so good. What's it like winning, Nick?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's good. Yeah. Sweet. I've forgotten. We've won 1 game in our last 12. 1 in our last 12. It's half a season.
Yeah. We're about to get up to the baker's dozen.
Oh, thank God I've got another sport. I feel for you.
Yeah.
That's all you've got, mate. Jeez.
Yeah.
You need to think about getting into some.
At this age I can't get into another. Actually, my eldest brother got into NFL really late in the piece, and he loves it. Yeah, no, not for me, not at all.
It's a bit yuck for me. I don't get it.
I'm trying to think. I would probably say football is probably the one sport that I would lean into.
Sure.
Basketball, but I don't like what basketball's about these days.
We'll choose you a team in the EPL. We'll choose you a team.
Who's the biggest coward team that there is?
Tottenham. Easily.
That's the only game I've seen live.
Yeah. Tottenham. Who do you go for again? Oh, he goes for United. Suck shit.
I saw Arsenal Tottenham when I went to London.
Tottenham are
game.
They are Melbourne.
Yeah, and Arsenal won. And
Arsenal always beat them.
It was the last game of the season, and for that to happen, this is in 2016, they jumped them on the ladder and they were just the chanting. It was cool. It was cool atmosphere.
I think we could. I reckon there's a good team.
Tottenham's my team.
No,
Gun Spurs.
I reckon Aston Villa could be your team.
Yeah,
they're really cool.
Oh, the colours, though.
Working class,
maroon, and
they've got a great manager. They're doing good things. They probably they just got knocked out in the quarterfinal of the Champions League. Great
what about
run.
Crystal Palace? I've always been drawn to that cup.
Very you.
Yeah.
Very you. Great shout. I'll explain that for another time.
Because red and blue as well.
Yeah, red and blue. Crystal Palace, a good shout.
But what a name for a team.
Sick.
Can't the Crystals?
Yeah. It's not what they say, but
No, they do. They definitely do.
Crystal Palace, good shout. Let's try and choose you a team next
Yeah.
pod. We can do that.
And I'm pretty sure Crystal Palace's home games in Melbourne, their pub is the Charles Dickens, which is around the corner from
Great pub. Great pub. Selhurst Park's a really cool ground as well. Very traditional.
Yeah.
Very traditional.
All right, go on the Crystals.
Oh, maybe that's your team. We can dissect a few other teams.
Anyway, but we don't need to worry about that because we're going to come back here and
wear clown suits in a month.
Wear clown suits in a month.
Yeah,
go to the D's, man. Like, I love this club.
Oh, I love them so much.
I love them so much.
Kills me. My son, Harry, often sings a song, and he's been doing it lately, where he just breaks out into "It's a grand old flat," and he did it the other day. I think it was the Sunday after we lost to Essendon, and I just looked at him, and Fee looked at me, and she's like, "Don't say something," because I was almost going to be like, "Stop!
Don't you sing that? Don't you sing that at the dinner table?
Stop singing that song, Harry. It's triggering." But yeah, that's the curse that I've bestowed upon the boys, and we'll just keep riding the wave, mate.
You only got one team.
All right, go D's.
Go D's. Love the new digs. Thanks for having us. I look forward to coming back with a bit more stuff on it.
Yeah, we'll set it up.
Whiteboard.
The whiteboard. Thanks, CEO. Yeah, cheers. Yeah,
Thanks.
Get us a home base.
Get a home base.
Home base. Yeah.
Get a home base or
Awesome.
win nothing.
Yeah. How good's Casey?
Yeah. Sack the coach.